If you ever want to rebuild a culture of cooking, you need to bring children back in the kitchen. Once you change someone's taste bud, you sure change the way they eat. If you want to rebrand the culture of agriculture, we need to understand the importance of the land and youth participation. Now, I take this time to deliver this simple message to you all. We are in a place where fast food restaurants have closed because of the pandemic. But I want to say to people right now that this is the time to plant your plate. Get your children involved. We now have the opportunity to rebrand the quality of agriculture in the minds of all the people. We always talk about Caribbean people not understanding the importance of the land and the slavery and all the past history that we think has brought us to this point. But I'm saying that now is the best time, and we take this opportunity to be able to get seedlings in the people's hands, seeds in the people's hands, and go back to the soil. I was informed today that the price of oil is below $1. But what is the price of soil right now, right? So I'm saying plant your plate, food freedom. Let's change this culture in the minds of the young people. In 20 years' time, young folks will be able to say, during that COVID period, I planted a sweet potato, and that allowed us to eat during this period. I'm Alpha Sennon, founder and executive director of Y Farm. Plant your tree and you'll eat for free.
Now, this clip is from a little while ago, but it is a beautiful way to start this Corpus Christi edition of Response to COVID-19 on TTT, Talk City 91.1 FM, and the TTT Live online on Facebook. Alpha Sennon, a.k.a. the Al Farmer, is a global agricultural educational entertainer, a farmerpreneur, a keynote motivational speaker, and food freedom fighter. He is the founder and executive director of Y Farm. Welcome, Alpha. Thank you for taking time. We got you away from your farm. What was your day like today?
Yeah, well, pleasant, good evening, good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Today was just as any other day, but there's a little busier on the farm since we provide seedlings and soil and planting material. So, of course, folks would have been getting onto the farm from as early as 6:30 this morning, coming to pick up their seedlings. And whilst that was happening, we embarked upon a dashing planting initiative today, where we are attempting to plant over 2,000 dashing plants. That's a little bit, right? But yeah, so that's actually still going on. I took a break from that to come over to have this wonderful chat.
Thank you so much for doing that. Who is actually planting those 2,000 dashings?
Those are my father leading the initiative, my other brothers, and a couple of young folks from in the community. We have embarked upon a voluntary program / mentorship program where young folks who get started their farming, they would come to us as well to gain some experience, free training, right? They help us with the labor, but they get to learn so that when they go to their farm, we will also visit their farm as well, but they will have some experience in actually doing it. And this is what we have been seeing. Many young people are actually taking it up. Many young people are actually trying to take it up, I would say. But of course, there's so many hindrances as well. Getting land, getting farmer's badge. Many things are hindrances in the way, and we at Y Farm just try to play a role to attempt to eliminate it or attempt to create an enabling environment by our community and our network supporting them. Firstly, with motivation. That's one of the biggest things, because for a young person to watch some jungle land and go into clearing it, you need to be motivated.
And that brings up the question, though, because Alpha, you are a charismatic individual. I met your brother; he's a charismatic individual as well. Outside of the personalities, is there any policy that you know of, actual entrenched or untrained policy, to enable youth in agriculture?
See, I sigh. Personally, to say I know about any policies to enable them, they might have some that is supposed to be doing that, but it needs to be revised. It needs to be reviewed, revised, and developed now, right? So they might have something sitting around there that says, this is for youth in agriculture. I'm not going to say it doesn't, right? But then how effective is it? And then is it implemented, and does it work right now? And I think the answer might be no, right? So I'm choosing my words carefully. But yeah, but we need to be able to create an enabling environment. Too many red tapes, too many bureaucracies. Now, I'm not saying that, hey, just give young people this land, give them badge, give them $10,000. I'm not saying that, but put programs in place. Where's the programs that allow for that? There are some programs as well, right? The ministry have an agro incentive program. Of course, it always, you always hear, well, I don't know about that. You sign up too hard, the application too hard. Nobody will tell me about that. And also, those are the kind of things that you will hear. And, we are going to be pushing that and developing greater awareness campaigns about some of these initiatives that they're there, but like they're hiding in the sideline, So, yeah.
So if you wanted to see a design lab, agripreneur incubator, what are some of the characteristics of a policy or program or something like that you'd want to see involved in that?
Yeah, so, the Agripreneur Incubator Design Lab, as we say, AID Lab, we are developing that. We are attempting to develop that. We are actually raising funds right now to create this space, right, where young people who have this idea, they have an idea to create a snack, they have an idea to create a bar, they have an idea to create any kind of agricultural product. Not necessarily only edible, but it could even be a tool as well too. So we want to create that space where they could come and get access to knowledge, access to training, of course, access to equipment and machinery, that they could take this thing from concept to commercialization, from the seed to the snack and the plant to the pack. Now, in order to really make something like that happen, firstly, there must be greater incentives, right? There must be greater incentives for agro-processing. In Trinidad and Tobago, we haven't scratched the surface, and I say this boldly. Why I say this boldly? Because I've been around the world and I've seen what people agro-process and how they innovate, right? We haven't scratched the surface with agro-processing just yet. Now, there are folks who's doing their thing, big up to them, but I'm saying that there's so many other opportunities out there. You would still go in certain supermarkets and you would see a preserved dry mango coming from Thailand, right? When we have mango falling on the ground here and flies fed up, we eat mango, right? So these are some of the things that we want to be able to create a space though, because it's one thing to say, well, hey, we should be processing mango, we should be freezing mango. Then where's the freezer? Where's the big container that turns into a freezer to stash that mango, right? So these are the kind of things now people would just say, but the reality of it is getting the equipment, the machinery, the funding to be able to do so.
Now, with regard to agro-processing, plant your plate, the movement, how do we kind of start to change the idea so that people think, okay, well, yes, I'm planting something, but what it looks like on the plate can be so more interesting, enticing than just boil plantain or boil dasheen, or there are many more levels. As you said, we haven't started to really scratch the surfaces yet.
Now, you see, the entire inspiration behind Plant Your Plate, it comes from you looking at your garden space or that land that you are about to embark on chucking something in the ground as we speak in Trinidad, and say, you know what, let me look at this piece of land here as my plate. I like okra on my plate. I always need pimento on my plate, right? I like some melangen sometimes. I like some sweet potato, right? Let me see. I like tomato choka, right? And I like some shadow benny for sure. And this now, you look at this land as a big plate of food, because essentially that is what it is. When we start to look at it like that, one, it allows for people to plant more and to plant more purposefully, right? It allows for people to then eat in a different manner as well, because I'll tell you something, when you grow what you eat and you eat what you grow, it allows for you to know exactly what's going in your body, right? And you appreciate more exactly the nutrients, right? And you appreciate eating that melangen now. Whereas I don't really eat that now, but planting it is a different story. So we have to, bring back the children, right, into the kitchen, changing their taste buds. We have to get them farming as well too. So we must be able to see now, when you look at your plate of food, you could say, wow, 33.3% of the things that I'm eating here came from my backyard, right? And this is the kind of mindset that we want to develop and go back to. Also, look at how much money you are saving, right, from planting your own plates. People might say, well, backyard garden has no money in it. That's a deception. The money in it is that you wouldn't go, if you was going to the market and spending $300, you now spend $75. Right?
And Paula Gopiskun, the minister Paula Gopiskun actually spoke about that. But we come back with the other half of this very interesting conversation after the break. This is Response to COVID-19 on TTT Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Live Online on Facebook. Stay with us. Welcome back to Response to COVID-19. We are speaking with Alpha Sennon, and we're getting straight back because looking at Alpha, looking at your background, we see the superhero in the background that we had you speak about a little bit. Agri-Man. What is the significance of Agri-Man as an engagement tool? And I'll start there, then I'll ask a follow-up.
Yeah, sure. You know, again, it goes back to our colonial past, right? When we think about agriculture, we always think about, you know, maybe the poorest man in our village. And I think for some reason or the other, this brainwash / colonialism has really got us to this point of thinking so. And we now wanted to create a character, a superhero character that is branded as the world's most powerful food provider to encourage, empower, and inspire young people to now realize that, hey, growing your own food is like printing your own money. And Agri-Man now becomes that mighty, powerful tool that kids could look up to, because I always make mention that the first time I heard the word food security was when I went to university, right? And I think many people might say the same, right? Agri-Man now was the world's first and only food and nutrition security superhero that tells kids about eating healthy, growing local, eating local, not wasting food, sharing your food. And of course, his most powerful message is plant one tree. You will eat for free. That will guarantee food security.
Well, how do you feel? I've already made your sigh big already, but how do you feel when you see the impact that Agri-Man has had outside of Trinidad and Tobago? You said 9 countries, you've had engagement, and then you kind of juxtapose that against the work that Agri-Man still has to do at home. That's a big sigh there?
Yes. So, I mean, it's, I would say it's now picking up. You know, I mean, in the initial start of our campaign, you know, we really did a lot of work outside of Trinidad. I would say we became a little more popular outside Trinidad than locally. And I guess it goes back to always appreciating what is ours and what comes from here. I mean, despite that, people always say, well, I never hear about that. Wow, you know. And I think sometimes if you say that, it's because where were you? What are you looking at when the day comes? You know, because so much positive things are happening, but yet still, you know, the negative kind of outrides the positive. And of course, the media have a big part to play in that. But I guess it's now changing. So folks are now really realizing, especially because of the time that we live in, that this is important. I mean, even our comic books, we try to get them on so many shelves across Trinidad and Tobago. We got some big no's. Why did we get the no's? I have some really big assumptions. You know, folks would have said, like, you know, we prefer to buy foreign books. You know, people don't buy local books. And when I said maybe people don't buy local books, or find the local books, you know. So there's so many challenges, you know, there's so many hindrances here and there, but I would say I'm now feeling a lot more comfortable with having a community of people really support this initiative and really allow it to go as far as in the schools and beyond the schools, you know. So we're trying to team up with ministries, we're trying to team up with private schools, principals, to really get this into the education system, because the agri-edutainment is what allows that shift in mindset so that these young people could become our future feeders.
Now, you spoke about community just now. You started off saying that there was a collective of people dealing with the dashing this afternoon, well, today. Farmers Collective, what place does that play in Trinidad and Tobago in your view?
That's the way forward. That's the way forward. I'll tell you something, because we have embarked on that initiative where we go on each other's farms, right? Now, a young person who's trying to get into
Sorry, the young person?
that doesn't have any capital, he have a little lot or two lotsy. Where is he going to find, access to labor to be able to do this, So this is where we now team up, and Sundays we go on Farmer Brown land. Next Sunday we go Moruga to Farmer Casey land, and then and we just go around like that, So that is really the way forward. And I'm inviting young persons, and even not so young, who might be listening to find us online and really get involved, be able to increase your agricultural production. And there's that support unit as well. I mean, not only that we share labor, but we also share markets. I got a message today. One of my colleagues is looking for 200,000 pounds of melangen every day, right? So question, where am I or Farmer Brown or Farmer Jack or Farmer Jill? Are we going to have those 200,000 pounds? By ourselves, no. Collectively, however, we could definitely get it and provide a bigger market. And that's the collective that we are trying to build. Even look for international markets, but we first believe in feeding Trinidad and Tobago. Let's feed Trinidad and Tobago with nutritious and secure food first.
Ubuntu vibrations. In terms of carrying that forward, you spoke about not necessarily giving out land and grants and stuff willy-nilly, but having youth access land. How important is that, and what are some of the things that you think we can do to make that marriage of youth and the land easier?
Yeah, we must be able to not just go and give a young person land who just knock on your door and say, hey, I'm looking for a piece of land for agriculture. No. Let's assess that young person. There's a young man in Dow Village. I did a really good interview by him the other day for a program that we are doing on the status of digital agriculture. His name is Elon Robinson. He's an amazing hydroponics farmer. He's farming on maybe like a lot and a half of land right, at his house. Now, this young man is begging and crying for more land for the past year or so. He has proven himself. He have markets all across Trinidad. I recently called him to get some produce something for another colleague. He doesn't have. Why? Because he doesn't have enough land. All his lettuce is sold out, right? So a person like him, then, to me, he fits that criteria. Why not give him a next piece of land somewhere that he can improve and increase his productivity? So I'm not saying that let's go and give a piece of land because Brown asked for land and you see what he doing, nothing, no. Or why farm, for example, as a credible youth movement-oriented organization, give us land so that we now can do the groundwork for you all, right? And we could parcel out these lands for these young people. All these lands is under production, systematic production, not just planting anything wild, talking about creating a product. If you're talking about creating a callaloo pack, this land is dashing bush, this land is pumpkin, this land is pimento, this land is coconut, this land is, the okra. And then we pull that together now and we create a pack that we can now mass distribute. Guess what? The farmers get more, for the produce than just having this middleman come, buy it for $1 and go and sell it for $10. And that is one of the most irritating things with this system as well in agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. And farmers lost a lot. And, something that needs to really be revised as well,
And definitely time has run out on us as per usual because there's so much ground to cover, pun intended, I guess. But I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap, Alpha.
Yeah, I say Trinidad and Tobago, for those who are listening from the institution-wise, I always say, let's stop make youth in agriculture some sort of poetry. And let's really make it a reality. And stop asking the question, if young people are interested in agriculture. I left about 10 young people on the farm, and we have about 20 up in Sandy Grande farming, and we have about 15 farming in Moruga today, and we're still asking if they're interested. So I'm saying, let's develop our system, develop our economy, agro-processing, the agricultural diversification, and as I always say, soil is the new oil, grass is the new gas, right? And if we are not thinking in that direction, we go in a step back in time. Food independence, food freedom. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alpha Sennon. And this has been Response to COVID-19 on TTT, Chalk City 91.1 FM, and TTT Live online on Facebook. Now remember, for all your COVID-19 updates, you can join us on TTT, Chalk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, Next 99.1 FM, as well as on Facebook at TTT Live Online. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of the TTT crew, I'm DK Rostar. Bye for now.